Now, we gotta turn this iron into a iron bars, and then we can make ourselves an anvil. There's our anvil, and that is going to be the cornerstone to us crafting. Let's make a little platform for it, so that way we can kind of have it all centered here, because you have to be near the crafting, like whatever station you're at. So I like to set it up so you have the crafting bench here, the anvil above, and then the furnace to the right, and that's going to set you up for most of the early game. So we can craft a minecart here, which is a little bit better than the default one. We have basically like an old minecart. We could make that. I don't think it's completely necessary, but you know what? If we get some excess iron, sure, why not? Let's make a golden broadsword, which is way better than our current copper short sword. And now we swing it over a head, and it's way better, I assure you. The damage is crazy. That short sword, 6 damage. This is 15. There are modifiers to the like weapons and other tools where essentially you can kind of forge them in certain ways, and they'll have different speeds, like, well, speeds, damage, size, all kinds of things. Even the accessories in the game work like that. There's a lot to the game, like I said, but like it does, honestly, it seems imposing, but you hop into it and it's not so bad. Let's put our ore in here. I'm going to try and keep them in order. So tin is the worst. Iron is in the middle. Then we go gold. And then I think it's silver, platinum. Although it's dependent on what's in the world, of course. Let's, we don't need to make sticky bombs, but let's make some more torches. And let's kill some of these slimes now that we're a bit stronger. As you can see, we're just absolutely destroying these slimes. They were destroying us just a moment ago, but now we're perfectly dealing with them just fine. That's the power of upgrading this game, and that's how the whole game works, honestly. Now, we want to upgrade our axe too, because wood is going to be something we're going to constantly need. And I mean constantly need. So we're going to want to upgrade the axe. Probably move to gold as our just standard, unless we move to platinum earlier. Depends. But you can also keep a chest open, by the way, and also go to your crafting station and it'll pull from the chest, because otherwise it won't pull from the chest. You would have to pull the items out. So I like to always have my ore right next to my crafting stations like this. It's more convenient down the line. So we can't make anything else, sadly. So let's just make... Now, we'll save the wood. We don't need to necessarily make the wood armor. We can go back down there. But what we're going to do now, we're going to, one, make a little bit of a platform here, potentially. Here, let's get rid of this segment right here. Get rid of this segment. And we're going to make a little wooden platform up to that top bit. Get over this hill and potentially explore the world. We're going to see where our biomes are, because we're going to be heading to those biomes a lot in the nearby future. Get rid of these. And let's head up here. So I selected the largest world type you can select. So here's our unmapped world so far, and here's our little home. It is a little bit larger than you think, but there's a lot of movement items in the game. Wings, rocket boots, speed boots, all sorts of things. They have a nice little living tree right here as well. There is gear down here. There can also be gnomes. They can be a little bit of a menace, honestly, if there's a lot of them, especially early on. Let's pop here and place all these torches. We got 10 bars, okay. Builder potion, that helps us build it basically from longer distances. Let's just actually hit the loot all button. We don't need to think about it so much. Wanda Sparking, actually not bad. This item used to suck, but like they buffed it, I think, in the Journey's End update, and it's not so bad. Climbing claws, okay, this is our first accessory. This is gonna let us slide down walls instead of just fall to our death. So when we make something later on called the Elevator, we'll be able to actually go down it a lot easier than we would normally. Okay, and I'm going to take these chests because eventually we're going to have to build a chest room, because there's a lot of items in this game. There really is. We're just going to nab these chests so we don't have to make them. More climbing claws. We don't need them. If this was multiplayer, it's nice because you can give it to your friend, but we don't need them here. We'll probably just end up selling those at some point. Put them in our inventory. Grab the rope. Grab the bottles, because there is potion making and stuff like that. And here's a crafting station. This is called the living loom, I think. Yeah. This lets us make like kind of leaf blocks. Well, leaf furniture and stuff. So like how this chest has got like moss all over it. You can make that kind of chest from this. Silver bars, okay. Actual first upgraded like ore we've seen so far. Past gold. Leaf wand, okay. And I'm not going to take everything. This game does not have a bigger inventory system, so once you hit your max, you have hit your max. So you maybe don't want to pick up everything in the game. But we are going to try and pick up a lot of things. We're going to try and, you know, develop this playthrough and make it all nice and dandy. Trying to climb here. You can, like, kind of do wall jumps with the climbing claws. It's just, I'm having a little bit of issues right now. And I think I'm going to grab this iron. I see this iron down here. Let's make a little hole. These mining potions are going to come into use later down the line, because we're going to make something called the elevator, which is going to get basically a quick way down to the hell biome, which is at the bottom of the map. And it's pretty convenient to have, especially if you want to keep, you know, exploring the caves more efficiently. You just dig a quick hole down, and then you can hop down that hole and get into branching pathways a lot easier. Also, it's a quick way down to the hell biome, which is also convenient because you're going to be going down there a lot. There are a lot of biomes in this game, though, and the biomes even change as we get deeper into the game. Ooh, an aglet. We needed one of those. That is part of a upgrade to the speed boots in the game. So it's very good we found those. Now, we are playing without the wiki, but the guide will be able to help us quite significantly because he will tell you recipes. It's just, I don't personally use them because it's easier to have the wiki open, but we're going to make this a little bit more challenging just for the fun of it. I don't think it's going to make it a lot harder. And here is our first new biome. This is the corruption. It is probably the scariest thing we could be in right now, but you know what? We ball. This is where we will fight our second boss of the game. Well, realistically, probably the third, but we're probably not going to fight the true first boss of the game called the King Slime, because he only shows up after slime rainstorms, which probably won't happen, or we have to make a special crafting thing, which, gonna be perfectly honest, I don't remember the recipe to off the top of my head. I don't want you chasing me. We do have the gold broadsword, so we should be able to handle these guys fairly easily, but if too many start appearing, we might get a little overwhelmed. We do have the wand of sparking as well, but we don't have any mana, so it's not going to be that great. We have our mana bar on the top right there. You can upgrade your maximum health and your maximum mana, but we don't have the gear to do that quite yet. To do mana, we're going to have to do falling stars, which only appear at night, and they disappear during the day. Oh boy, this is what I was talking about the enemies. Too many of them, and we're going to get a little overwhelmed. But then there's also the living crystals, which I think we found one already, which we just kind of eat, I guess. We use it. Oh, we died. Okay. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have gone through that biome, but at least we know there's one in that direction. There technically can be another one in the other direction immediately, so we might be a little bit contained. We'll see. Well, hopefully, if we're lucky, there's a desert immediately to the right. Let's go back home real quick and let us drop off our gear. We can hit this button to quick stack in the nearby chest, which isn't super useful yet since we don't have a lot of things in our chest yet, but we'll get there. Let's put webs in here, these guys. Try to keep our chests somewhat organized, but that's going to be easier said than done. Keep the mining potion here for now. Right now, with the limiting amount of chests we have, it's probably not going to be super easy to organize our chests, but that's okay. And let's keep the rest of our stuff on us and put this here. That lets us craft, you know, the more living wood themed stuff. As you can see, there's a bunch of themed gear for that. A lot of biomes have their own unique like loom that lets you do that. The reason I put this campfire on the top of my house, by the way, is it gives us increased health regeneration, which is nice to have. So let's head to the right. Let's see what we've got to explore over here. I want to get an understanding of what our surrounding area looks like. We should also plant our acorns here, because that's how you regrow trees. There's a lot to do in this game. And we're gonna be spending a little bit of time solving it. We're gonna figure out what we all need to do. Although, for the most part, I think I know what we need to do. But we may do some fun things along the way. We still want to be gathering a lot of slime here. Slime is kind of critical since, you know, that's how we make torches. It's going to be a little important. Put our coins in there. Mow the grass a little bit. Get all these flowers out of here. This is a very relaxing game, though. I don't think you can go wrong with it. And there's another living tree over here. Nice. We'll check it out. There can be good gears and accessories in here. The step stool, that is an accessory. Let's just, hold on. Bam. You know, for the short kings out there, you got the accessory made just for you. Let's head down here. Climb into this room. Shine potion, pretty useful when you're exploring through the caves. Take these, take the torches, and that's nice to have. Bombs are going to be useful, especially if we have to bomb through some terrain instead of mining at all. They also can do decent damage, but you generally don't want to use bombs as a combat weapon because they do break the terrain. You're free too. Ooh, there's a mine shaft down here. Well, let's check it out. Now, one of the main things we're going to want to probably kind of focus on getting, first and foremost, is called the grappling hook. It is your best friend in terms of, you know, navigating around, and that is called a dead man's chest. This is probably one of the more rare traps to see, but there is TNT all underneath it. There is a dart trap to the right, and there are 2 to the left, and then there is also 3 boulders above. Opening this chest is extremely deadly. I don't think you die immediately when you open it. It's only when you close the chest, thinking you've probably taken the contents. That's when it'll explode. But it looks like we are good here. So let's get rid of the dart traps, and then we'll get rid of those pesky boulders that will definitely kill us. I suppose we could also just place a barrier around us. Hold on. Watch this. Hit him with the beans. Block it off. There we go. There was another TNT. Well, there's the achievement. Dead men tell no tales. I may have missed the TNT. Well, we didn't drop too much money, but let's go back there. There is actually gear in that chest, so it's worth going back for it and checking out what's in it. Now, these explosives we won't be able to use for a while because we won't get the person who gives us wiring tools until I think it's the dungeon. There is a dungeon in the game. There's a lot to do, I'm telling you. And let's hop down here. And let's see what we can get. Hopefully we get a magic mirror. Magic mirror would definitely make me very happy. Magic mirror is probably your best utility item in the game. Go back over here. Get on the minecart to speed it up a little bit. It's a lot faster to ride the minecart than to, you know, just walk. We got shoe spikes, which will combine with the climbing claws, which is nice to get. That's definitely not bad at all. It's a good thing to come by. Let's put these here, just get them out of the way. And it looks like we have some silver right here. Let's mine the silver as well. We do want to upgrade our gear. Preferably before we fight the first boss, who is called the Eye of Cthulhu. We're probably going to want to be upgraded to platinum or silver overall. I can't seem to get up there. Let's just place a little platform. You better get away from me, Mr. Slime. I cannot seem to get on the... Oh, I know why I can't get on the track. It's because the dirt's in the way. Don't knock me off. Oh my goodness. We definitely need proper health potions as well. That would be nice to come by. We have these lesser ones, but they're not very good. Let's rebuild the minecart track so we can drive back, by the way. Okay, hold on. Struggling here. Well, you know what? Good enough. We'll just get off and get back on. Building minecarts tracks are definitely a little annoying in this game. I will say that. I remember when, I think the 1.3 update first came out and they added expert mode. The wall of flesh, which is the hell boss, was super duper fast. So me and my friends had to build a minecart track at the bare minimum to beat this boss because he was so fast after a certain HP value that you absolutely needed it. It's crazy how fast he was before he was nerfed. I mean, you could not run away from this man, even with the best gear you could potentially get at the time. You had to use the minecart track. Now, some bosses in Calamity, you could also use minecart tracks to, you know, kind of navigate around them. But let's not worry too much about Calamity. That's a tale for a different time. That is a tale for a different time. Glow sticks will automatically come out when the torches can't be placed. So essentially when we're underwater is primarily when we're going to see that. Let's place a little platform right there so we don't mess it up. And let's go over here. Minecart tracks are definitely one of the best ways to find the loot shacks, basically. The golden chest shacks. We haven't found... Oh, and as I say it, we found one. Okay. Now, there are statues in the game as well. So, this little boot statue, for example, it doesn't do anything, but there can be ones that are actually statues of mobs in the game. And when you activate them with, the, wiring system, they'll spawn the mobs, so you can actually farm things from them. Like slimes, for example, you could farm gel. It's actually quite useful. But the boot one, it's purely decorative. We don't care about it too much. We're going to take the chest because it looks cool. And let's get some more iron, potentially. Just do some calm mining. Have you guys had a chance to check out Helldivers yet? Honestly, it's a pretty fun game. I don't know if you guys want to see any videos on Helldivers, but I personally had a lot of fun with the game. It kind of reminds me of, like, what I wanted Halo Firefight to be. Playing, like, ODST and just fighting the swarms of Covenant. I don't know if you've ever played, Halo ODST Firefight, but, like, that's definitely what it reminds me of. If, it was a bit more realistic and gory. But no, Helldivers has been really fun. The servers had issues at first, but now they're seemingly fixed. I mean, it was a capacity problem. They were having a lot of back-end issues, apparently, where they clearly could not, well, didn't even expect the game to be as popular as it was. I think they were hitting like 400K on Steam alone. And it's like, that's absolutely ludicrous because the game is on PlayStation as well. And they said their server cap was 450, and they were at like 430 on Steam alone. It's crazy how some of the games recently have just been popping off. Palworld? You guys see how popular Palworld was? Palworld had 1.2 million? 1.2 million concurrent players. That's insane. Now, I know for, like, Fortnite, for example, or Minecraft, they hit way bigger numbers, but obviously those are games that are, like, still crazy in of itself. I mean, it's very interesting. I don't know. It's like, I feel like back then, those were, like, once-in-a-lifetime numbers, and now we're just hitting more and more of those numbers. I feel like the gaming community just, it's growing very exponentially. But that's also a good thing, because it means a lot more people are getting into gaming. I feel like, gaming's a good hobby to get into. I think there's, like, studies shown that, gaming improves your reaction times long-term. It maintains them, I should say. Your reaction times are probably going to go down regardless as you get older. But if you play video games, it's like a healthy thing. Like, Alzheimer's, for example, doing puzzles and, actually using your mind helps fight against Alzheimer's, for example, which is a terrible disease, by the way. I wonder long term if we're going to do studies on, like, you know, mental degenerative diseases like that. Is gaming going to be like something that can actually like help mitigate that? It's interesting to think about, because honestly, you think of gaming as maybe like this hobby that isn't really beneficial to anybody. It's just maybe some might consider it a waste of time. I say, well, you know what? I'm on this planet for not too long anyways. Let me enjoy my time while I have it. That's my thoughts on it. But thinking about it, like, gaming maybe isn't total a waste of time, and maybe like it'll actually genuinely help improve your brain health down the line. It's just crazy. I like the thinking of the concept of like things like that actually having positives that you maybe wouldn't even initially think of. Fixing one of the like most terrible diseases to impact humanity, because Alzheimer's is genuinely up there. Like, I've seen, you know, older folk like actually suffer from it, and it's genuinely terrible. But, you know, moving away from kind of the depressing topic of that, I just think it's interesting how things like that have an unintended consequence. Consequence is not even necessarily being a bad thing, you know, just a result of an action. It's like gaming could help improve something like that. I just think it's very interesting. So this is a mushroom biome, by the way, which can have these, that is also one of the best statues we could get. So this star statue spawns mana for us. It's very useful to get. I'm kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy we actually got that so early. But yeah, the mushroom biome down here has mushroom kind of enemies. It's terrifying later in the game, but for right now, it's kind of tame. It also has these glowing mushrooms, which we can use to make mana potions, which is nice. Oh, one shroom minecart. Nice. And we got a suspicious looking eye. This will spawn the first boss of the game for us. We're definitely not going to fight him yet because he would completely kick our ass. But we could spawn him whenever now. Let's grab a bunch of glowing mushrooms here. They will grow back. As long as they're on this blue grass, they will come back. 5 crystal. So we're at 140 health now, which is nice to see. And let us make a little platform here. There is a piranha in the water. I hope it can't hit me. I don't know if it will. I'm not going to find out. I don't know how much the piranhas do. I'm going to be honest. Another band of regeneration. We'll keep it because it can combine into other things. We could get like a regeneration band that also does mana and healing at the same time, for example, while still having another healing band. You know, things to keep in mind of. I typically play the mage build in this game, but I feel like we'll go kind of maybe a mixed build, get a sense of everything. Nothing wrong with playing a mixed build. It's just, you know, when you specifically focus on one build more, you get more DPS out of your builds typically. Let's not just immediately drop here. There is a mother slime down there, and there's also a ghost shelly, which both will bully us at the earliest convenience they can find. So we have jester arrows here, which are basically arrows that are going to pen. They also do more damage. Also, we have something very bad coming towards us. We're just run. Okay, let's take care of this the old-fashioned way. Mano y mano. AKA, I shoot you with a bow and arrow from a distance. Now, this mother slime's going to explode into a bunch of other slimes. But we got to be a little careful and keep our distance. Looks like we're fine. I was just worried about that, you know, skeleton that was coming above us. I saw him. And I was like, we're in this hole here, and he's about to be in the hole with us. Now, there is this material right here. This is called silt. We can actually use something called an extractinator to turn this silt into ore and money. So it's actually quite useful. It's scattered a little bit of everywhere, so I'm not too worried about collecting it right now. We still need an extractinator, of course. Also, there's no chest here. Oh, there is. There it is. Flare gun. Not the most exciting thing, I'm going to be honest. It's kind of useless. It's not entirely useless, but it's kind of useless. So we have a lot of things in our inventory now. It's getting a little hard to manage. So we have to think about things. What can we throw away? And I'm thinking we could probably throw away the wooden walls. They're not that important. Grab the jester arrows. We don't need the flare gun. It's not very good. Just take my word for it. Let's hit him with the old bean sauce, aka Wanda Sparking, and run away from him a little bit. Okay, grab that mana. There is another chest down there, so let's head down there as well. Oh dear, we have quite a few enemies coming at us. Let us... Oh boy. We're fine. Let's build a little wall here so the slime cannot jump up here immediately. Make one little hole and just hit him like this. I know, I've got the classic Terraria strats here. I put a couple hours into this game. I say that and all I did was place like 5 wooden blocks. We're not so concerned about saving these jester arrows. They're not that valuable. I think you can just combine a falling star with normal arrows, if I recall. So it's not like they're super, hard to come by. And there will be better arrows that we'll get. Wanda Sparking does have piercing on it, so I was kind of hoping there we would kill him at the same time, which we did. Mace? I don't know if we want this. I guess we'll give it a go. Let's get rid of the shurikens. They actually are losing their value over time here, because we're just getting more and more high damaging weapons. We don't need the blood root. It's kind of useless. It's just used for dye. We'll get more down the line. It's not like we need it right now. So the mace, we kind of spin it around ourselves and then we throw it when we let go of left click. So it's kind of like, a close quarters and then heavy hit with a ranged attack. Well, I think we're done here with the mushroom biome, so let's head back up. Let's head back up here and see what we got going on in our base.